Good evening, Oregon Trail Council. Welcome to the Fireside Chat number 18 or 1927, whatever it is. Sandy's here. We got Sherry here. Phil's here. Scott. And in the background, as always, is Rapid Robert. So he's doing the good stuff tonight. We have a fairly small crew tonight, but we did want to talk about a couple of the awards dinners that have come up, some of the events around the council, and take a look at the updated recharter information before we publish it and begin working the recharter so that we're done by the 1st of December. So, Scott, did you want to tell us about your travels in the last week or so?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
A week ago, we actually had Greenwood District had their recognition dinner. They did a nice job at their roundtable location. There's a beautiful little picnic area.
This month.
And so they were able to do it outdoors, maintain social distancing for the most part. People had masks and recognized the volunteers in Greenwood District, and they did a great job. Really nice. And then on Tuesday night, Rob and I were able to go down to Doug Fir District and participate in their recognition dinner. And again, they did a great job. As you can imagine, kind of an in-person one. There's a little bit less attendance than there has been in the past. Did have it outdoors, which also helps with numbers and social distancing and all of that. But one of the things that was really nice about it is we were able to finally recognize Kent Wallace as one of our Silver Beaver recipients. I don't know how many people remember it, but we were scheduled to have our Silver Beaver recognition banquet on March 20th. And I believe it was March 18th that we basically closed down operations for about a month and a half. It was like 3 days before that Sandy moved to Eugene and
started. Thanks, Sandy.
But again, it was nice to finally be able to recognize. And Phil, eventually we'll get the opportunity to recognize up there as well. So
that's in the Burnt Woods District, right?
Yes. That's the vote I'm throwing in, Burnt Woods District.
There you go, Burnt Woods, all right.
Right in the center of that district.
Yeah, because Yankton sounds too much like Yankton, South Dakota, right?
So a great opportunity to finally recognize the volunteers in those two districts that really deserve to be recognized. So enjoyed doing that. Let me see. Today, I actually had the opportunity to go out to Camp Baker with someone that a strong supporter of scouting in our council and his scoutmaster, Mr. Lewis Dunlap, who was scoutmaster in 1959, 1960 of Troop 117. So it was Lewis's scoutmaster, one of his scouts, and I that went out to Camp Baker. And I think the last time Lewis had been out to Camp Baker was 60 years ago.
Wow.
Or just under 60 years ago. So it's kind of fun to go out with those guys and see what they remembered and see how things had changed as far as their memory was concerned. And they really enjoyed the trip. So that was fun to do. The other thing I just will mention before we move on to other topics is want everybody to know that we're still working closely with the national office on the bankruptcy issue. I will let everybody know that, the bankruptcy, although it's national, it's going to impact every local council. It really is going to impact every council. We don't know, we don't have any idea how much of an impact that's going to make at this point. That's one of the hard parts as we start looking for, things down the road. Excuse me, looking at next year, budgeting for next year. It's hard to know what kind of impact that's going to have. Likewise, we're still kind of up in the air as far as the impact that COVID-19 is going to have on us. So we're scheduling somewhat pessimistically, but also thinking, hey, we ought to be able to run camps, because no matter what, I think next summer will probably be better than this summer. And there were camps, there were councils around the country that were able to run camps. So we're looking forward to that. We'll mention that Sherry and her crew are planning on, at the end of this month, the 30th and the 31st, running 2 sessions of Haunted Trails Cub program out at Camp Baker. And I think they have a great plan in place to make it exciting and fun for the scouts and their families, but also to make sure that it's a safe event for everybody involved. So I think that's it for my report for tonight, Randy, and I turn it back over to you.
I appreciate that.
Quick question. Is that 2 sessions? Is that 2 different groups of kids, or one group that stays on the whole time?
No, 2 sessions. They'll come in, Phil. First group will be in for a little less than 24 hours. Then the next group comes in the afternoon on Saturday, and they're in there for a little less than 24 hours.
Do they spend the night?
Yes, one night.
Where's the staff coming from?
Staff right now is Sandra is one of my staff people. Yay. We've got,
Well, sure.
I know, isn't that exciting? We have Mackenzie and Zach are going to be my cooks. Dave Birkin is going to run one of the stations, and he's bringing 8 scouts with him, and they will act as dedicated troop guides. So they will stay with their kids throughout the entire event.
Several
and then,
from Burnt Woods District.
From the Burnt Woods District. No. And then I have another young man that's going to be running the obstacle course. Jeff will be running the obstacle course. So it's a skeleton crew. We're running really, really thin, having as few people there as possible. And the units that come in will stay together and not intermingle with the other units while they're there. So that'll all be really fairly well contained.
Yeah, it's a little early, but what kind of population do you think will be attending?
Gosh, I wished I feel like it's either going to be really well attended or it's going to be really, really poorly attended. So I just don't know right now. We've got room for 40 kids plus 40 parents in each session.
Cool. Cool.
So
okay.
80 total campers per session, and then we left 20 for the staff.
So it starts Friday evening?
Friday at 4
Uh-huh.
in the evening, and then goes until Saturday at 2. And then it starts Saturday at 4 for the second group and goes Sunday to 2.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. That makes sense to me. Thank you very much. Yeah, very good. Well, Scott, you didn't talk about any of the volunteers and the awards other than Kent Wallace. And I know that.
That's correct, Randy.
Yeah. Do you not remember any of the volunteers and the awards that they received? Is that
leave it at that? Now, Rob may be able to help us. Sandy may be able to help us. I know one of the other ones, Jeremy Gilliam, received the District Award of Merit in Doug Fir District. They had several other awards, yes. And Sandy, help me out here, but I think Scott Sorensen got the District Award of, no, his Scoutmaster of the Year, right?
Scoutmaster, right?
You may be with other awards.
Yeah, and we have a new NYLT director, right?
We do, yep.
Out of the Mighty Cascade District.
Ian Gamble, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for throwing that curveball, Randy. I appreciate it.
Take care of volunteers, right?
Well,
to the extent possible. Very good. I figured you just slipped your mind, as it were. That's okay. Okay, the other topic we wanted to touch tonight and get going is on recharter. Rob has put together with Phil's review a fairly good document, I think. Phil, you chime in here because you've seen it. And
I thought it was, you followed through, it led you through the process. So I thought it was quite good.
okay. And I saw on Facebook today in the one of the commissioner pages that there is a tutorial that has been published, I think, by National concerning recharter. I didn't review it yet, but we'll cover this stuff in more detail. Rob, was there anything in particular? You're behind the scenes right now, but was there anything in particular you wanted to point out about the instructions for recharter? We want to be done by Thanksgiving. Okay, that's part of it.
Indeed.
Okay. I wish Eugene was on here because he's a good one to represent and say, you know, whatever kids and adults you got right now, write them down. They'll be there on the 1st of January. And then it's just a matter of signing the check after that. You know, checking YPT, getting a couple of signatures and turning the darn thing in and being done with that particular task.
So we've tried to make sure, am I still muted? Nope, I'm going. For some reason, it's not picking up the camera here. We have tried to make sure that everything that is needed for a unit to get through the recharter very quickly and easily is right there on that page, otcbsa.org/rechartering. We'll be sending out some information to our key threes for all of our units, directing them to this page for review. The system turns on November 1. So if units are collecting all of the information and filling out the applications and confirming families returning, November 1 and done, you can jump online. It really only takes about 15 minutes to do a recharter. If you've got all the information together, it's a simple process. A quick get together with your charter rep for some signatures. You write the check, you turn it in. The unit commissioners, the district commissioners, the DEs, and the field director, me, ready to help. All the information's on that page, including that 40-page PDF from the National Council that takes you step by step. We broke that down into just a couple steps to make it easy. Once you get in there, it's super simple, and we're glad to help with any questions at all.
Yeah, it really is very straightforward. For those that are going to review this later on, if you can't get it turned in the first day, there's something wrong. It just means you're not actually doing the work. It's really that routine. I think Brandy Gillespie and Troop 22 would attest to that. 22 was the unit that beat out 182 years ago. We were 4 times champion, and then Troop 22 stepped in the middle of that, and just I think they've been the champion ever since. It's very interesting. Okay. Anything else we want to touch on tonight, Sandy? Highlights in Greenwood, Phil. Highlights in Benton. Anything else that we want to touch on before we wrap up?
Sandy's
trying to stretch it out.
A couple of pretty neat projects right now. Sandy, you want to share a little bit about what you got working on with the virtual tours?
Yeah, so right now I'm currently working with my mom who works at NBC with virtual tours of the property, which is pretty much where they film everything. It's the back lot. It's what you see when you're on a tram through Universal Studios. And I'm also working with Sean Long from Troop 12, and she's her and her scout are gonna show a virtual tour of the newsroom. So she actually texted me today and got approval from the news department thing. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. A lot.
Yeah, there's just a ton of activity that's being recorded, and then the local stuff that you're talking about here, that's even cooler. It's just there's a lot of stuff to be done if we just will go do it. It's just that simple. Okay.
So Randy, also just for those that tune in later and follow up on this, Jamboree on the Air and Jamboree on the Internet is not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. And we're working on some local activities to coincide with that as well, that folks can come and see that ham radio jamboree on the air side of it. And we're looking at finding an opportunity in there someplace, we don't quite have it scheduled yet, that we can do an online version of that, probably through a Zoom meeting that folks can log in and ask questions and have that kind of local contact. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the Jodi website, it looks like it's going to be a really neat event. And that's going to be going on all weekend long with scouts and scouters from literally all over the world. It is really a neat event. So that's a good one to check out. And that information is also on our website as well.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Bill, you had anything else? You had something you were going to say, and I interrupted you. And that's okay. We can come back to it.
No,
Yeah, Sherry, one last chance.
Sign up for Haunted Trails if you're in the Cub Scout realm.
On the trails, you got all the staff and all the admin support you need.
Got all the staff. It's gonna be. We've got all the stations are planned. We've got most of the supplies already in, so it's gonna be just a fun weekend. Bring your pumpkins. Got a great pumpkin carving contest.
Yep, very good. All righty. Well, thanks for coming in tonight. Small crew, but I think that we'll get some Facebook reviews on this after the fact. And I think next week I think we're still gonna try to get some Fall Cub program remarks and some ideas out there. I know that the Pack Down in Winston has done some excellent work here recently. And Sandy, I think some of your folks have done some excellent work as well. So maybe we can get some of those recruiting retention program things to be described next week for sure. Okay. So thanks for attending. Let's scout on. Oh, one more. What, Scott?
You know what? I really enjoyed this. So can we end with Rob? Can I screen share? I think I can I?
You should be able to.
With a video that was done for our auction that I really enjoy. And it was actually done by Troop 12, by a father and son in Troop 12. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Please do.
Video.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Can you see it?
Got it.
Yes.
We can't hear it.
Can't you really?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
you have to kind of set that up ahead of time, as I understand.
Okay, never mind.
Is that posted somewhere, Scott?
Yeah, we probably could, couldn't we, Rob?
Absolutely.
It's really cute. They do a really good job talking about scouting and family and all of that. So
Yeah, that'd be a good one to be able to review. Very good.
so sorry about the interruption.
That's all right. We're almost there. So unshare your screen.
Yeah, I'm
We're
trying.
seeing your emails now.
Are you really? Oh.
Yeah, love letters and all that.
Okay, how do I do this?
All right, that's pretty good. Why don't we? That's a high note right there. What do you say, Scott? Huh?
Yeah.
Rob, that's a high note. Let's call it a day.
I shut it off for him.
Thank you.
Thanks. Everybody, same bat time, same Scout channel next week. Right?
I'm not the IT guy.
I got it. All righty. Thanks. We'll see you guys later.
Okay, thank you.